Hey, this I do this for real. And side note, I do this for a living and for fun. So when you ask me what I do for fun, this. Eh,
Hey y'all. Okay, so I did a short video yesterday. I'm going to do another short video today because I have a major toothache, but I want to work. So, yesterday we were talking about interviewing your archetype and letters to your archetype. So, we're just going to hop right back into that. So, as you think through the many archetypes, try to remember times when you rose to an occasion or acted against a type, like becoming somebody you almost didn't recognize, okay? When an archetypal pattern steps into the foreground of our life, dramas, most people describe a dramatic shift in their energy field. A major directive that helps you determine your archetype is to describe in detail my unfinished business with someone. Many people give a brief answer the first time around, or even state that they have absolutely no unfinished business with anyone. That response often indicates such a large reservoir of unsolved conflict or guilt that they cannot bear to go on or go to in their memories. Instead, allow the questions gradually to open up your memory bank and draw to the surface bits and pieces of your past, which could be as simple as a conversation with a stranger or as traumatic as a sexual molestation. These memories may not present themselves on first recall, since most of us don't often visit the murky waters beneath the surface of our history. The list of questions is long, but your psyche is vast. It never rests. But you cannot rush these associations through your unconscious and conclude that you have discovered all there is to know by answering them. You may want to go back through this list more than once for each archetype too. Each time you conduct an interview with your archetype, with one of the archetypes you chose, you awaken more memories and new associations. It's like watching a movie, right? You could have watched a movie or read a book when you, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago. But if you do it now, you're going to see or notice new things that you would be like, I didn't even think that was there before. I don't even remember that being there. Or I didn't even, oh, this is what they meant by this, or this is what they meant by that. It's because you awaken more memories and new associations. You are collecting fragments of your life, almost as if you're an archaeologist that's collecting pieces of ancient pottery. Later, the fragments will organize themselves because they know where they belong. You are free to respond to the questions quickly and off the top of your head if you wish. But you can also decide to spend time with this process of self-examination and wrestle with your angels and archetypes. Every memory or association that occurs to you through this process of self-examination has value to it, even if you can't appreciate its significance immediately. So use your journals. Remember that you are reclaiming your spirit in these fragments and constructing a hologram of your sacred contract. You will be happy to know that you already are more fluent in speaking archetypes than you could have ever imagined. You probably have been speaking archetypes your whole entire life. The archetypes you most frequently see in others most likely have some role in your own life. Begin asking the questions about or to the 8 primary archetypes you have chosen. Remember, I already gave you the top 4. You only needed 8 more. After you have eliminated some of them based on your responses to the questions, move on to interview the 3 secondary archetypes you choose until you have 8 that you feel comfortable with. You may be surprised to find out that, again, the ones that you think you are least connected to are the ones that carry the most weight. So the following questions are in groups, and these are the groups that I told you about yesterday that I'm about to tell you the questions. Answer them by recording any present day and past experiences and relationships that seem connected to the archetype. Include the good memories along with the bad. Let the process of questioning and answering stir things up inside of you. Welcome the energy of your psyche that comes with this process. You cannot ask penetrating questions and assume that your psyche will remain forever silent. Be as specific as possible in your answers. Give your prominent memories and note any detail that comes to mind. Since everyone has a child archetype, this is why I said do the child first. You'll want to interview all the other ones as well. Even though you won't need to determine the main 4, you will want to interview them too, because you know these 4 are definitely a part of your intimate team. You may find it somewhat easier to begin with them. So now, the questions. These are the historical questions that you would ask this archetype during your interview or during your letter to it, okay? Why did you choose this archetype? And you ask the archetype, why did I choose you? Were you aware of having this archetypal pattern before listening or reading the book? You ask the archetype, where have we met before? How do you see the shadow of this archetype within you? And then you would ask, how does your shadow self-influence me? If this archetype is one that you were led to choose, even though you would not have preferred to, list the things that it has that don't appeal to you, that you don't like about it. And then ask, what do I least like about you? And then the final historical question is, what opportunities in your life do you associate with this archetypal pattern? And you would ask, which opportunities in my life are connected to your energy? So these are the historical questions. And I'm going to give you, I guess I'll give you the personal questions too. So list all the people who you feel have a connection to this archetypal pattern and give the ways they have assisted or are currently assisting you. Include ways that you have also assisted them. Who are you most connected to in my life is what you would ask. You would ask, how has this connection contributed to our spiritual development? In what ways do you feel this archetype serves your contracts with people? You would ask, how do you help me fulfill my contracts with people? With whom do you have power plays that you could connect with this archetype? You would ask, who in my life do I associate with your power? How does this archetype factor into the unfinished business in your life, such as people you haven't forgotten about, or people you haven't forgiven, or an aspect of your past that you can't let go of? Who are you connected with from my past that I still have unfinished business with is what you would ask the archetype. And you would also ask it, in what way can your influence help bring closure to each of these relationships? List any myths, fairy tales, legends, or spiritual stories that you associate with each archetype that have a meaning for you. Then identify any parallel features between those stories and your own life. So, next, I'm going to give you the energy and intuitive questions for your archetype. And then I'm going to give you the spiritual questions of your archetype. And then we're going to continue into sacred contracts, because by that time we will be on a new chapter where we begin to speak about the chakras, or your spiritual backbone, as many call it. So that is all for today, you guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope you can hear me well. Sorry, I have a toothache, but like I said, I wanted to do some work. Until next time, ciao.
Yeah. Are you gonna be